Welcome, dear friends, to Cardiac Radio at 11 p.m., nourishing our souls with the Spirit of Truth. The Spirit of Truth is this book by two mediums, Waldo Vieira, Chico Xavier, in Brazil in 1961, 60 years ago. Several spirit authors, including Emmanuel, is delivering to us important messages. You and I are in a very good course. Yes, it's very unique. The course of the Spirit of the Truth. In Spiritism, we understand since Kardec's time that Jesus coordinated with a group of wonderful spirits the coming of the promised consoler. He promised it, and he's calling us. Today, Emmanuel comes to you and I to ask a very important question. Let's make no mistake that when a spirit of this stature is asking us this question, it's because it's most important. What sheep are we? Okay, hold on. Emmanuel is going to ask us to revisit a particular message before he talks about his very message. In the Gospel according to Spiritism, item 5, chapter 20, Workers of the Lord. It's by the Spirit of Truth, and it was brought in 1861 at Kardec's time through the mediums of the time, 1862. We're going to read it because it's short, but more than that, it's very important. Workers of the Lord. The time is near for the fulfillment of those things proclaimed for the transformation of humankind. Blessed will be those who have worked in the Lord's field selflessly and with no other reason than charity. Their work days will be paid 100-fold, more than what they expected. Blessed will be those who said to their fellow men and women, brothers and sisters, let us work together and combine our efforts so that the Master may find the work accomplished at his coming. For the Master will say to them, come to me, you who have been good servants, you who have known how to silence your jealousies and discords so that no harm would come to the work. But woe unto those who, because of their dissensions, will have delayed the time of the harvest. For the storm will come and they will swept away in the upheaval. They will cry, have mercy, but the Lord will say to them, why do you ask for mercy, you who did not show mercy to your brothers and sisters, who refused to offer them a hand, who trampled the weak instead of upholding them? Why do you ask for mercy, you who sought your recompense in the delights of the earth and in the satisfaction of your pride? You have already received your reward such as you wanted it. Ask for nothing more. The rewards of heaven are those who did not ask for the rewards of the earth. At this moment, God is taking a census of his faithful servants and is taking note of those who only have the appearance of devotion so that they may not usurp the wages of the courageous servants. Because it is for those who do not recoil before their tasks that God will entrust the most difficult positions in the great work of regeneration through Spiritism. And these words will be fulfilled. The first will be the last, and the last will be the first in the kingdom of heaven. Workers of the Lord. Okay, the question is, first, do we have a Lord? Many of us don't. You know, you know why? Because we're very rebellious. We still think like little kids. I'm free. I do whatever I like, whenever I like. That's a big mistake. Jesus came to show to us the humility of subjecting himself to God in spite of his great position. Now you and I are being asked to reevaluate. Are we or aren't we workers of the Lord? It's up to us. So Emmanuel is going to give us a new angle to this question. What sheep are we? And he's going to say, he's going to quote John 10:14. I am the good shepherd. I know my sheep, and by mine I am known. These were words by Jesus himself. The attentive shepherd identifies himself with the flock in such a way that promptly defines any of the sheep kept in his care. The shepherd knows the most active ones. He discovers the indifferent. He appoints the lazy ones. He records those who lead. He classifies the wool that it may come to produce. The shepherd does everything in favor of the sheep. And in turn, the sheep, little by little, perceive within the limitation that characterizes them the way of being of the pastor who directs them. The sheep get used to the places they prefer. They respect the signs that come from the shepherd. They accept the shepherd's orders. They recognize his directing power without confusing his presence. In the image, we have Christ's divine mission towards us. The compassionate shepherd knows each of the sheep in the human flock. Think about it. He knows you, he knows me, he knows each one of us. This is really deeply moving because he has this personal relationship with us, doing everything to guide us to the field of celestial light. Jesus encourages the indifferent. He soothes the impetuous. He strengthens the weakest. He supports the most responsible. He analyzes the value of all according to the particularities and trends of each. And likewise, as the sheep of the terrestrial flock gradually come to know and feel the blessed existence of the Good Shepherd, they understand the teachings and the admonitions of the Christ. They reverence the excellence of Jesus' love. They serenely trust Jesus' mercy. They espouse his ideals and seek to respond to his will, highlighting him in the pictures of life as intermediary of the Sublime Father. In this way, it is up to us to respond to the call of the Master, improving the conditions of life in the world based on our own renovation. In this program of struggle, it is worth asking ourselves, what sheep are we? And with such a question, let us search in the discipline before the Christ of God. Our position as servants of the good in the certainty that humility will grant us the attunement with the divine shepherd so that sublimating and serving, we reach with him the celestial sheepfold in victorious immortality. What a message. Emmanuel, he reminds us that we are following a shepherd. But do you feel like it? Because usually every day we wake up feeling like we're solo, right? What do I do today? What can I do? Do I travel to the Maldives or do we go to Hawaii? And I'm playing games here because there are people during this coronavirus season who are really going that route and without noticing how risky that is. Maybe you're not going to catch it, but other people will. Their system cannot deal with it. What does Jesus want us to do right now? Oh, Vanessa, but it's my birthday. Somebody else's birthday. Friends, that's not how it works. Lesson learned. We need to ask our shepherd, what do you want us to do? And certainly he's going to say, I want you to help others. Certainly he's going to say, please help me by helping others. Because there are sheep that are weak. And he's saying, I need to strengthen them. There are some sheep who are indifferent. We need to encourage them. There are some who are very responsible. We need to support them. And each and every one will receive a call because there is a personal interaction between Jesus and us. In the preface of the book, Paul and Stephen, Emmanuel says that we have been personally called by Jesus. What an honor for us. But an honor to love more and to humble ourselves. We need to humble ourselves to make the connection with the divine shepherd. That's the secret. But what sheep are we? On our end, we know what he does. But on our end, do we understand the teachings? Are we reverent to the lessons of love? Are we serenely trusting Jesus' mercy? Are we espousing the ideals and seeking to fulfill God's will? What sheep are we? Emmanuel asks a very serious question. Why is this so grave? Because our planet is being shook up. We are shaken up. We can't play games. And you may be asked, but Vanessa, I'm not playing games, am I? I don't know. But I know that I may when I think it's so beautiful, so warm, and I start mingling with people. It's my mistake if I do it. And I will see the consequences. Because in this phase of the earth, we're not supposed to think of vacation. We're not supposed to think of traveling anywhere. We're supposed to think how to reach out to the ones who have less than we do. How can we reach out to them? How? We need. That's the teachings of Jesus. The teachings say, love God above all things and one another as yourself. So I need to think of people who do not make the means because they lost their job, because they need a helping hand, So hard. Question: what sheep are you? Are we following the compassionate shepherd, the divine shepherd, and his humility connecting us to the divine shepherd? It reminds us of Stephen, the sweet and kind Stephen. He followed the Lord. He was faithful. He understood the teachings. He was reverent to the excellence of love. He serenely trusted the mercy of the Almighty, and he really embraced the ideals. His humility is an inspiration for us. In the next 24 hours, you and I are being asked, what sheep are we? Are we following the shepherd, or are we far away? We will only follow when we're humble, when we humble ourselves before the Almighty. Oh Lord, what do you want us to do? And today, thanks to the mercy of God, we have the opportunity of being here asking this question: what sheep are we? That's the question for the next 24 hours. It's a twofold question. What sheep are we? And in the position of good servant of the Lord, are we humble enough to make the connection? Nobody can answer this question, but we do. We can. So it's our homework. Let us then finalize with a prayer together, shall we, friends? Visualizing our planet enveloped by healing lights. Visualizing rays of healing coming from on high, from the heart of the divine shepherd, enveloping us in much balance, health, and healing. Thank you, dear Lord of life, for inviting us to your sheepfold. May we be better in following you than we were yesterday. Thank you so much for blessing all of our homes. And we visualize rays of healing that come from you, enveloping especially those who are in critical conditions, whether in their homes or hospitals. And may doctors, nurses, and therapists be willing to give them a hand wherever they are. May we always stay under your guidance, feeling your protection as you grant us the permission to be under your loving care. And so be it. What a joy to realize our connection with the shepherd. Let us feel it in our hearts and feel this personal relationship. After all, Emmanuel says, the compassionate shepherd knows each of the sheep in the human flock, doing everything to guide them to the celestial light. You and I are loved, personally loved, and we need to feel it in order to follow the shepherd. Thank you, friends, for being here with us at Cardiac Radio once again. We hope to be with you tomorrow at 11 p.m. here at Cardiac Radio. Thank you so much.